I mean, your Protoss practice, I guess, you can try to improve your Protoss or something.
Yeah. Wow, I'm so bad with Protoss, but I'm really trying. I'm trying to learn. So every time when I feel like, oh god, I'm just losing a ladder with this Zerg, so then I'm angry and I go play some Protoss.
It's actually really, really important, I think, to off race to get an understanding of other races. Because as a Terran, like as a lot of Terran players would say, it's like, oh well, a lot of pros say that Terran versus Protoss is difficult right now. But as a Terran, I try to go play as Protoss against Terran. Then all of a sudden you're like, how do you handle all these drops? This is absurdly difficult. So it's always kind of cool the perspective that you get from that. But this
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, so nothing shady going on. We don't have any rallied SCVs going to the other side of the map for MMA, so no 11-11 racks here from him. Nice to skip those cheesy all-ins. We had some nice series yesterday. Was it Flash versus Yu-Gi-Oh? That's
Flash
crazy
Yu-Gi-Oh.
series. You should totally check that out. Wow.
That's a series I won't forget about for a while.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. I like this that MMA is going for the Command Center first play. We saw primarily Reaper play in Terran versus Protoss yesterday. I think Innovation, even on Whirlwind, was like, yeah, I'm still going to open Reapers. I think it's a good strategy, and it's not bad, but Reaper really seems to be the flavor of the month right now for Terran versus Protoss opening. So seeing this much CC first, it's kind of neat. And we'll have a pretty fast probe scout go out for Avenge.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that MMA seems to favor this, going for a really fast command center, usually CC first, and probably when we see Innovation later today, we will see Reaper openings all the time.
Yeah, I have no doubt that he's going to Reaper open, especially against Hero. Hero's one of the more aggressive, semi-cheesy Protoss. Is still really good. But Avenge gets the scout. He sees the CC first, and of course you pull on the probe and you just harass the SCV. It's really annoying for the Terran player. If you get an SCV kill, it's actually like one of the most amazing things ever. It's one of the worst feelings as a Terran player to lose an SCV to the probe. But he just leads it around. If you guys don't know, I mean, the probe regenerates health while it runs away from this SCV, so he actually has more health now, and he can kill it pretty easily. Such a pain for MMA. In fact, he brings on another SCV to help hold this probe off, and he's losing a lot of mining time because of that.
Yeah, and at the same time in Avenge base, what actually happened here was that he started 2 geysers, then he saw that it was a CC first from MMA, so he cancelled one of the gases, and the other one he couldn't cancel, but he pulled the probes out just to be able to get as many minerals out as fast as possible, so he could get that Nexus down as soon as humanly possible, I guess. And now he starts to mine that gas, so a nice adapt there from Avenge.
Yeah, I think it's a very smart play. I do like this, and he's going to get his Nexus at a reasonable time. The second Mule will be mining a little, nice and early, so MMA should have a bit of an economic edge from this build. But it's, Avenge still has a lot of options available to him. But the one thing that I think this does mean is we are going to see, like you said, that economic, that macro game, and that does, I feel like that does give an edge to the player that's going to drop. I feel like that gives a nice position here for MMA, because the Terran play, if he goes for that hyper-aggressive style, I'm just thinking about MMA versus Snoot from yesterday, where he just had so many drops everywhere, and that was a TVZ, but you can do this. You can do similar plays with mass drops versus Protoss.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. MMA's multitasking is just superb, so we might see some of that coming up. 3 barracks going down, double gas behind it, it's gonna get that factory up. And at the same time we see a Twilight coming from Avenge. Do you think he's gonna go for DTs here? Or a fast blink play?
There are some Protoss players, at least in the European scene, which is why this is weird, because Avenge is Korean, like Baby Knight, that like to go for 2-base blink on this map.
Yeah.
And 2-base blink isn't bad. Generally, when you go fast blink, you want to take an early 3rd base so that you can just use your map control with the blink to prevent the Terran from attacking you long enough for the 3rd base to pay off. And that 3rd would start about 6:30, so he does have a chance. He might do that build. This SCV manages to slip by.
Dark Shrine coming up here from Avenge, actually.
I like this play a little bit more. I'd like to see him go for a robotics facility and try to get the
Oh no, it can be scouted.
drop,
MMA is moving in with an SCV here into the main base of Avenge. Oh wow, he might get the scout of that Dark Shrine, and that would be huge for MMA.
Oh, he's so close. This might be a situation where he uses the
Yeah,
probes.
he got
but
it.
No, he knows, and this could be I kind of wonder now, when Avenge kills this SCV, is he going to keep doing his strategy, or is he going to go for blink? Because he started the Robo immediately. when that happens. So he could just be like, okay, well, he'll have a missile turret at the front, but maybe I could do some damage with DT drops, which are almost never really bad to go for because the Warp Prism buff makes it so that even if they have like missile turrets there, you can get the DTs out with the Warp Prism speed.
Yeah, and I think that MMA is adapting perfectly. He's getting those turrets up, getting a turret up at the natural base, and he will probably get one in the main base soon enough. So he knows that he will be safe versus DTs. I wonder if he is prepared for the Blink play that is actually coming. So we have Blink, we have the Warp Prism on the way, so maybe Avenge is going to try to blink into the main and warp in some sentries to force field off that ramp.
Yeah, that could actually do quite a bit of damage. There's this little bio run-by going, though. There's nothing here for Avenge to defend against this, is he? Where's the he doesn't even have a mothership core. Is MMA about to just walk in and kill all of this stuff? A DT is being warped in. He doesn't have anything here. If MMA scans and kills this Dark Templar...
Where are the units from our Protoss player? He has a DT and 2 Stalkers outside the natural base of MMA, but MMA is going to kill so much here. There is a DT, though, so Avenge will be able to clean this up eventually, but he's going to lose so much.
Yeah, really nice play by MMA, and I mean, imagine if he had a scan to kill that DT with, that would have just been monstrous. He will lose a lot of probes, like you said. We've had 18 probes killed this game by MMA. Really, really fantastic play. But now Avenge is going to try to counter that. He has the Dark Templar warping in under this Warp Prism. He's going to try to go into the main, but Nautilus, look, there's 2 missile turrets in the main base. He's got everything completely locked down here.
Yeah, MMA is playing really well here. He has the units in the main base too, but he's not seeing this Warp Prism moving in. A DT is actually going to come into the main base here, but it's not going to do too much. There are turrets, just as you pointed out, Nathanias. MMA securing himself such a good supply lead that, yeah, a big lead in this game.
Yeah, it's really crazy what can happen when you don't have a mothership core to defend against attacks that you don't scout. That Marine push just came right in, and he was completely blindsided by it. I'm really surprised that he didn't get the mothership core. You know, it's a 100-100 investment, and that it completely stops something like that from happening. Yeah,
it's so strange. Usually every Protoss player is going for that mothership core just to be safe, and also it's very good to, when you're attacking, to have that mothership core to be able to use time warp and whatnot. So surprising there, and that might actually cost him the game. He's good at macroing, so he will be able to maybe get back into the game, but big lead still for MMA.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I don't know that Avenge really has what he needs now. There's another drop hitting the natural. There's so many units here. Look what Avenge has. He's barely got a few Stalkers. He's got a Colossus. He might even just target this down. A good force field should save it for now, but he can't pick off the rest of these units. I think Blink is done for the Stalkers, but there's not enough Stalkers to even kill this off.
Oh yeah, good force field, but now MMA is just moving into the main base with that drop, and
there's another drop hitting the natural.
Also has 2 more medivacs coming. Yeah.
Hey, MMA's not going to stop. This is what happens when you let MMA get a lead on you. He's comfortable. He is just going to start swinging from both sides now, and every time he goes to try to swat down these Marines, they're going to pop up somewhere else. He's going to be playing whack-a-mole with these speed medivacs, and now he just boosts away from the natural. He's going to drop into the main base again. There's 2 gateways here that are left vulnerable. Yeah, these Stalkers, there's not enough here to actually deal with the drop.
Yeah, and this is just the story of MMA here at Dreamhack Bucharest. He is just using his multitasking, showing that he's a boss at multitasking and dropping everywhere at the same time. And this seems to be his style, and he's doing it really well.
Yeah, the DT gets warped in to try to save that. It has 3 kills, but MMA will scan and kill that off, and he can't do anything back. That MMA is just macroing like a monster. He has tons of scans saved up. He's got his 3rd base ready to rock. And he will finally swat this drop down, but now the supply, just look at it. He's almost doubling Avenged supply, and this one Dark Templar runs and he's like, I got an SCV. He actually got 12 kills overall this game, which isn't bad at all. But that's it. MMA gets his 3rd base now. There's no way Avenge can take a 3rd in this situation.
Vasakas is lagging. Hopefully they will get that sorted out so we can get back into the game. It's too bad for the players, actually. That lag can be really annoying. Not too long though. We have the third command center coming down here from MMA, and he's gonna land it very soon. And
War Prism!
oh, the War Prism just dies.
Yeah.
Did nothing there, and there is just no way that Avenge is gonna be able to take a third base anytime soon. Doubling the supply, just as you pointed out. MMA is just playing superb.
You know, it's really funny because a lot of people, that one of the big fears about MMA when he really came back to StarCraft 2 was he just hasn't had any huge results. But this Dreamhack, this Bucharest Open, he's done really well for himself, making it into the top 16. And to be honest, I think given the current status of this game, he has a superb chance of making it into the round of 8. And I honestly don't know what Avenge does here. He's continuing to warp in sentries because he needs them. He needs force fields to get board control. But he doesn't have any actual units. He's got 2 Colossus and like 6 sentries. That's it.
Yeah, I think MMA is ahead in every single way. He has the economical lead, he has the supply lead, and just look at the upgrades. He has 2-2 running, and there are no upgrades for Avenge whatsoever.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really difficult. The Vikings are here for MMA as well, so these Colossi, they're not going to do too much. He has 3 of them, but with 7 Vikings and 2 more about to pop out, and obviously the fact that there's not really anything to buffer for the Colossi, this is a really nice spot for MMA. Avenge is going to push out. I feel like this is a situation where as Avenge, you say, I gave it my best shot. I can't really win this, but I need to do something before that third base, fully kicks in. And the 3 barracks that are being added are going to basically be the nail in the coffin of Avenged. And this is all I can really see. He's just going to try to make some sort of last-ditch effort to even the game. He doesn't even have Storm. I don't know how you pull back in this situation.
I think that maybe the best choice would even be to pull an Elfie here and try to use all of your probes to make a last effort to attack into this Terran army, but the SCVs are already pulled up for MMA, so...
This is overkill. He's like, he's got 116 army supply to 72, and he still wanted to pull 30 SCVs. He's like, no, I
don't think
need
that he knows. I don't think MMA knows what
hallucinated
huge
Colossi
is in this game. Yeah.
And he sees where he stands, though, so he sees it. And MMA is probably thinking the same thing. He's like, that's very cute, but no. And
That's very cute, yeah.
He's going to press in. There we go. That massive Bioforce. 1 Colossus down. The second one falls. The third one immediately being picked off. The scan ends, so the hallucinated one does something, but there's so much bio here. Avenged is toast. The Marauders blowing these Stalkers to smithereens, and he will advance to the round of 8. GG for M.